Students, in the last session we had learned how insects can cause diseases, and today we are going to learn how to control the diseases by avoiding insects, by preventing them, keeping them away from us. So today we are going to learn methods of preventing the diseases. So let us continue with the lesson Food and Health, which is chapter number 2, and today we will be learning about methods of prevention, and also we will be studying about vaccination. This is part number 6 and the final part of this lesson. In the last session we had studied about how diseases spread through insects, through carriers, and we had also learned about prevention of communicable diseases. And as I said, today we will be learning about methods for prevention. To start with, house should be airy and open. Why it should be airy and open? Because fresh air and sunlight are natural disinfectants. Mattresses, linen and clothes should be exposed to sunlight from time to time because, as I said, fresh air and sunlight are natural disinfectants. A supply of clean and germ-free water for drinking and cooking water is very essential. Why it is necessary? Because clean and germ-free water ensures a good health. So we should always use such clean and germ-free water for drinking and cooking water. Then, impure water should be boiled for 10 to 11 minutes. By mistake, I have written here 1 minute. It should be 11 or 15 minutes. So, you can boil the water for 10 to 15 minutes and then store it in clean and covered containers. So water filters can also be used for purifying water. So that is also another option to purify the water. You can use water filters, especially RO purifiers. They are good filters. Chlorination is a way for purifying huge quantities of water. So the water that is supplied by municipal corporations or Nagar Panchayats, they generally use this method to purify the water. So when water is in large quantity, we use chlorination method. What is chlorination method? Generally, we mix the water with some amount of chlorine. It is very little amount, but that much chlorine is enough to purify the water. Let us quickly revise these points. Impure water should be boiled for 10 to 15 minutes and then stored in clean and covered containers. So you should boil the water for 10 to 15 minutes. Water filter can also be used for purifying water, and then chlorination is a way of purifying huge quantities of water, which generally is done by municipal corporation or Nagar Panchayats. Let us move on to the next point. Germs in milk are killed by pasteurization. This is a general method of purifying the milk. To make it pure, what do? Pasteurization. Now the question arises, what is pasteurization? In pasteurization, milk is heated at a high temperature for at least half an hour and then it is cooled down quickly. So high temperature and a very cold temperature ensures that all the germs are killed. So this pasteurization kills harmful bacteria. Well, let us move on to the next point. Breeding of flies must be prevented as they pollute our food and water and act as a carrier of diseases. Rooms should have a wire screens. Toilets and bathroom must be cleaned and disinfected regularly. And to stop the breeding of mosquitoes especially, water must not be allowed to stagnate, because the still water or standing water many times helps breeding mosquitoes. Generally, what happens with the standing water is mosquito lay eggs in such water. So in still or standing water, mosquito lay eggs. And how can we avoid it? We can destroy mosquito larvae by spraying oil on the surface of water in tanks and ponds. So if we spray oil on the water in tanks and pond, that will ensure that all the mosquito larvae are killed. Then toilets and bathroom must be cleaned and disinfected regularly. And last point is mosquito net or mosquito repellents must be used at night, because what happens during night time is mosquitoes are very active in this time. So to avoid their bite, you have to use mosquito net or mosquito repellents. Student, on this note, I would like to ask you one question. How does mosquito larvae killed by spraying oil? Oil doesn't seem that dangerous that it can kill a mosquito larvae, but still, if you spray a oil on water, that kills mosquito larvae. Okay, I will tell you the answer. Students, every living being requires some gas to inhale and some gas to exhale. So respiration is important aspect of life. That is an important sign that it is a living being. So even mosquito larvae requires oxygen. But spraying oil on water cuts down this supply of oxygen to mosquito larvae, because then oxygen doesn't dissolve in water and mosquito larvae don't get the oxygen. So spraying the oil on water ensures that they don't get proper respiration, and this kills them. So this is how spraying oils kills mosquito larvae. Now let us move on to the next point. Kitchens must be rid of all the insects, and to ensure that floors must be swept every day and drains must be covered. These two things, even if we follow these two things, kitchens will be free from insects. Well, until now we learned many methods of prevention. There is one more method of preventing diseases, which is vaccination, and very important method. Let us learn about vaccination. Vaccination is another way of protecting ourselves by acquiring immunity against certain diseases. I repeat, vaccination is another way of protecting ourselves by acquiring immunity against certain diseases. What is immunity? Immunity means fighting against disease. So this increases our power. So the next point is there are vaccines available for diseases like diphtheria, cholera, typhoid, tetanus, polio, measles, mumps, meningitis, and hepatitis. So there are many vaccinations available in the market to avoid this list of diseases. Pulse polio is an immunization campaign established by government of India in 1994, because before that there were many victims of polio, there were many patients because of polio, and after 1994 Indian government took this campaign against polio, which was named as pulse polio, and it was eradicated by vaccination. And because of this campaign, from time to time all children are given oral polio drops against polio virus. This campaign has proved to be very successful in eradicating the disease, because once it was a time when there were many patients of polio, but today you will hardly see any polio patient. Why? Because of this campaign by Indian government. So we should thank Indian government that they have taken this campaign very seriously, and even our citizens which took it seriously, and that's why we are successful today in eradicating this disease. We must get ourselves vaccinated to protect ourselves. And finally, if we take care of ourselves and our surrounding, then we all can remain healthy, which is our final intention of this all these methods, and that was our intention behind learning this lesson. Okay, so to stay healthy we must take care of ourselves and also of our surrounding. So that was all for today, students. I hope you understood what I tried to teach you, and I also hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you have any doubt, feel free to ask. So bye for now, take care.